All right, listeners, ready to dive deep today. We're tackling a phrase you use all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Get over.
Yeah.
You know, like get over a cold or just get over it. Seems simple, right?
Yeah, you'd think so.
Well, you sent in requests asking about all its different shades of meaning.
I can see why.
So let's unpack that with the help of our expert. I'm already sensing this is going to be more interesting than I first thought.
What's so fascinating about get over is that it captures this journey, this movement from one state to another.
Oh, okay.
It's not just about the end result, it's the process of getting there.
Okay. I'm intrigued. So it's not just I'm over it, it's about how you got there.
Exactly. And that journey can take many forms. See, the classic example of getting over a cold.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like you snap your fingers and poof, you're healthy.
Right.
It's a gradual process of feeling lousy, slowly regaining your strength, until finally you're back to normal.
Like in that story about Maria we found.
Oh, right.
She was down for the count with the flu, then slowly started feeling better each day.
Right. And her journey wasn't just physical.
Oh.
She also had to get over the sadness of her dog running away. This highlights how get over can also apply to emotional healing processing, grief, moving on from heartbreak.
So there's an element of time involved, like time heals all wounds, but it's not passive, right?
Well,
You're actively working towards feeling better.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that leads us to another fascinating aspect of get over,
Okay.
overcoming. Think about conquering a fear of public speaking.
Yeah.
It's not about the fear magically disappearing. It's about actively facing it, practicing building confidence.
Right.
And eventually you're on that stage delivering your speech.
So like Maria taking those baby steps to get over her fear of the cold,
Yes.
bundling up, slowly venturing out. It was deliberate effort.
Exactly. It wasn't just time passing, it was her taking control. And speaking of control, remember those examples we found of teams getting over challenges in their projects?
Oh yeah, those are interesting.
They weren't just waiting for solutions to appear. They were actively problem solving, innovating, and pushing through those obstacles.
That reminds me of the saying, where there's a will, there's a way. It seems get over often implies that kind of will, that determination to move forward.
It certainly does. And what's intriguing is how the choice of get over versus synonyms like overcome or recover subtly changes the emphasis.
I see what you mean.
Overcome feels more heroic, like battling a dragon. Recover might be more passive, like resting after an injury. But get over suggests a journey that can involve both effort and time.
Okay, so we've got recovering, overcoming, but there's a third meaning that really caught my eye, and it's a bit of a curveball.
Oh, really?
Get over, expressing amazement.
Ah.
Like when you taste the most incredible dessert and say, I can't get over how good this is.
Oh, yeah.
It's not about recovering or overcoming anything. It's about being completely blown away.
Right. It's like encountering something so unexpected, so delightful, or even so shocking that it leaves a lasting impression. Think about how we use get over to describe something that keeps replaying in our minds. It's like a song you can't get out of your head. But in this case, it's a feeling or experience.
You know, that makes me think about how in Maria's story, she couldn't get over her friend's kindness. It was such a genuinely good deed that it stuck with her, right?
Yes. And this highlights a fascinating connection between surprise, positive emotions and get over.
Interesting.
It's as if the feeling is so powerful, so unexpected, that it keeps coming back to you. You just can't move past it.
It's like it creates a mental loop, replaying that amazing thing over and over.
Right.
Almost like it's too good to be true and you keep trying to process it.
It's almost like the feeling becomes an obstacle itself, something you have to get over, in the sense of coming to terms with integrating into your understanding of the world.
This is really making me think about all the times I've used get over without even considering these nuances. I feel like we're just scratching the surface here.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the beauty of language, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
These seemingly simple phrases can hold so much depth and complexity.
It's like we've been throwing this phrase around all our lives without truly appreciating its power. But now I'm seeing get over in a whole new light.
And speaking of light, there's another aspect to the amazement, meaning that I find particularly interesting. Think about the expression, I can't get over how beautiful that sunset was.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not just surprise. It's almost a sense of awe, like we're struggling to grasp the sheer beauty of what we witnessed.
So it's like get over can sometimes express that feeling of being overwhelmed by something positive, like it's almost too much to handle.
Precisely. And if we delve into the etymology of get over,
Getting nerdy.
we find that over often implies a sense of surpassing or exceeding. So in the context of amazement,
Okay.
it's like the experience has exceeded our capacity to easily process it. We're left grappling with it, trying to get over that threshold of astonishment.
Wow. So even the word over itself adds another layer of meaning here. This is blowing my mind.
It's fascinating, right? And I think this ties back to what we were discussing earlier about get over, implying a journey. Sometimes that journey is about recovering from something negative,
Right.
but other times it's about coming to terms with something incredibly positive, something that expands our understanding of the world.
Okay, so we've explored these three distinct meanings of get over, but how does this all apply to us, to how we use language in our everyday lives?
Well, I think the key takeaway here is the importance of nuance. When you use get over, are you talking about recovering, overcoming, or being amazed? Being aware of these subtle differences can make your communication much more precise and impactful.
So instead of just blurting out, I can't get over it, we should pause and consider what we're actually trying to convey.
Exactly. Think about it like choosing the right tool for the job.
Oh.
If you're describing your recovery from a cold, I finally shook off that bug, might be more vivid than simply saying, I got over it. Or if you're trying to express your astonishment at someone's generosity, their kindness truly floored me, might capture that feeling more effectively than a generic, I can't get over it.
That's such a great point. It's like we're becoming more conscious of the flavors and textures of language, just like a chef refining their palate.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
And just like a chef who understands the subtleties of different ingredients, we can become more skillful communicators by paying attention to the nuances of words like get over.
This is making me think about all those times I've probably used get over in a way that didn't quite capture what I was feeling. Now I'm eager to put this newfound knowledge into practice.
That's the spirit. And the more we pay attention to these subtle distinctions in language, the more effectively we can express ourselves and connect with others.
You know, this deep dive has really opened my eyes to the hidden depths of this seemingly simple phrase. And it makes me wonder, what other everyday words and phrases are we taking for granted?
That's a fantastic question. And it highlights the fact that language is a constantly evolving landscape full of hidden treasures waiting to be discovered.
It feels like we uncovered this whole hidden world within just this one little phrase, get over, isn't just about moving on.
Right.
It's about the whole journey, whether it's bouncing back, pushing forward, or just being stopped in your tracks by awe.
But what's so powerful is recognizing that journey in our own lives.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, we're constantly getting over things both big and small.
You're so right. I mean, just this morning I had to get over the disappointment of my coffee being lukewarm.
Oh.
Maybe not as profound as Maria experiences, but still a mini journey.
And that's a perfect example. Even those seemingly insignificant moments, they contribute to our overall experience and the way we choose to frame them.
Right.
The words we use can really shape our perception of those experiences.
So knowing all this about get over, how can we actually use it better in our lives? I mean, is it really just about swapping out get over with fancier synonyms?
It's not just about using fancier words.
Okay.
It's about understanding those subtle shades of meaning.
Right.
And choosing the language that best reflects your intention.
Yeah.
Sometimes get over will be the perfect fit. Other times a different phrase might capture the nuance more effectively.
So it's about expanding our toolkit, being more intentional with our word choices.
Exactly.
Kind of like how learning a new language can make you appreciate the intricacies of your native tongue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just like learning a language takes practice, becoming more mindful of our language requires paying attention, experimenting, and being open to discovering new ways of expressing ourselves.
You know, this whole deep dive has made me realize that get over isn't just a phrase. It's like an invitation. An invitation to reflect on our experiences, to acknowledge those journeys we've been on, and to appreciate the power of language to shape our understanding of the world.
Beautifully put. And I think the key takeaway here is that getting over isn't necessarily about reaching a destination.
Right.
It's about embracing the journey itself.
Yeah.
With all its twists and turns, its highs and lows.
So to wrap things up, let's bring it back to you, dear listener. We explored the many faces of get over.
Yes.
Recovering, overcoming, and even being amazed. But now we want to hear from you. What getting over journeys are you currently on? How has this deep dive changed the way you think about this everyday phrase? We'd love to hear your reflections in the comments. And until next time, happy exploring.